Some random selections from the Oxford Nursery Rhyme Book, assembled by Iona and Peter Opie, published by Oxford University Press in 1955. If all the world was paper, and all the sea was ink, and all the trees were bread and cheese, what should we have to drink? There was a man of double deed, sowed his garden full of seed. When the seed began to grow, 'twas like a garden full of snow. When the snow began to melt, 'twas like a ship without a belt. When the ship began to sail, 'twas like a bird without a tail. When the bird began to fly, 'twas like an eagle in the sky. When the sky began to roar, 'twas like a lion at the door. When the door began to crack, 'twas like a stick across my back. When my back began to smart, 'twas like a penknife in my heart. When my heart began to bleed, 'twas death and death and death indeed. There was a king, and he had 3 daughters, and they all lived in a basin of water. The basin bended, my story's ended. If the basin had been stronger, my story would have been longer. There was an old woman, and nothing she had, and so this old woman was said to be mad. She'd nothing to eat, she'd nothing to wear, she'd nothing to lose, she'd nothing to fear, she'd nothing to ask, and nothing to give, and when she did die, she'd nothing to leave. What's in there? Gold and money. Where's my share? The mousie's run away with it. Where's the mousie? In her housie. Where's her housie? In the wood. Where's the wood? The fire burnt it. Where's the fire? The water quenched it. Where's the water? The brown bowl drank it. Where's the brown bowl? Behind Bernie's hill. Where's Bernie's hill? All dressed in snow. Where's the snow? The sun melted it. Where's the sun? High, high up in the air. The little black dog ran round the house, and set the bowl a-roaring, and drove the monkey in the boat, who set the oars a-rowing, and scared the cock upon the rock, who cracked his throat with crowing. There was a little guinea pig, who being little was not big. He always walked upon his feet, and never fasted when he ate. When from a place he ran away, he never at that place did stay, and while he ran, as I am told, he ne'er stood still for young or old. He often squeaked, and sometimes violent, and when he squeaked, he ne'er was silent, though ne'er instructed by a cat. He knew a mouse was not a rat. One day, as I am certified, he took a whim, and fairly died, and, as I'm told by men of sense, he never has been living since. What care I how black I be? 20 pounds will marry me. If 20 won't, 40 shall, for I'm my mother's bouncing girl. 3 children sliding on the ice upon a summer's day. As it fell out, they all fell in, the rest they ran away. Now had these children been at home, or sliding on dry ground, 10,000 pounds to 1 penny, they had not all been drowned. You parents, all that children have, and you that have got none, if you would have them safe abroad, pray keep them safe at home. There was an old woman, and what do you think? She lived upon nothing but victuals and drink. Victuals and drink were the chief of her diet, and yet this old woman could never keep quiet. I am a pretty wench, and I come a great way hence, and sweethearts I can get none. But every dirty sow can get sweethearts enough, and I a pretty wench can get none. As I walked by myself and talked to myself, myself said unto me, Look to thyself, take care of thyself, for nobody cares for thee. I answered myself, and said to myself in the self-same repartee, Look to thyself, or not to thyself, the self-same thing will be. There was an old woman lived under a hill, and if she's not gone, she lives there still. There was a man of Thessaly, and he was wondrous wise. He jumped into a bramble bush and scratched out both his eyes. And when he saw his eyes were out with all his might and main, he jumped into another bush and scratched them in again. There was a rat, for want of stairs, went down a rope to say his prayers. In a cottage in Fife lived a man and his wife, who believe me were comical folk. For to people's surprise they both saw with their eyes, and their tongues moved whenever they spoke. When quite fast asleep, I've been told that to keep their eyes open they could not contrive. They walked on their feet, and 'twas thought what they eat helped with drinking to keep them alive. The little priest of Felton, the little priest of Felton, he killed a mouse within his house, and nobody there to help him. When I was a little boy, I washed my mammy's dishes. I put my finger in my eye and pulled out golden fishes. Now what do you think of little Jack Jingle? Before he was married, he used to live single, but after he married, to alter his life, he left off living single and lived with his wife. There was a man, and he had naught, and robbers came to rob him. He crept up to the chimney top, and then they thought they had him. But he got down on the other side, and then they could not find him. He ran 14 miles in 15 days, and never looked behind him. Thank you for listening.